Bro, these y'all ain't got nothing in the hood. I look like a dope boy to you? No, I ain't like, come on.
I trust in God to deal with it the way that he see fit. You know what I mean? It ain't really shit outside. You know, he done got all the whippings, he done got the punning, he done did it, he done, you know, did everything as a child you could do to him. So now he gonna have to go through it. He gonna have to go through it and get through it. And ain't nothing me, his mama, or nobody.
T.I.'s nightmare finally came true, and it's uglier than anyone thought. After years of trying to pull King back from the edge, a judge just slammed him with a 5-year prison sentence. No more warnings, no more second chances, it's over. But the shock doesn't stop there. King is reportedly turning on his own family, filing a jaw-dropping $25 million lawsuit. He's demanding half the estate, claiming they cut him off the second he got locked up, and insiders say that betrayal sent him spiraling out of control. The drama is straight out of a movie. What makes this sting even more is how T.I. predicted it years ago. Back in 2022, he warned that King's obsession with playing gangster was going to land him behind bars. And just like that, I was right. The prophecy came true in the worst way possible. It all blew up last October in Dunwoody, Georgia.
I know you capping. I know you. I know you though.
King was behind the wheel, swerving out of a gas station, and nearly plowed straight into a police officer. That reckless move forced the officer to pull him over, and that's when the real chaos unfolded. The second the officer leaned in, the car reeked of weed. The smell was so strong, it nearly knocked him back. King wasn't just reckless, he was high out of his mind, and that's why he almost hit the cop. But things got even darker when the officer spotted a gun sitting on King's hip. And in Georgia, that's a game changer. The weed might have slid, but the firearm meant the officer had to run King's info. And what popped up sealed his fate. When the officer told King to step out, it was game over.
And he just became a father. So I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me.
He was cuffed on the spot while they ran his info through the system. And that's when the real bombshell dropped. King had an outstanding warrant out of Pickens County for skipping court on his 2022 mess. That case already had him facing charges for speeding, driving with a suspended license, and a DUI. It was strike after strike, and now it all came crashing down. The officer later detailed the whole thing, saying, "I informed Mr. Harris that I would need to speak with him outside and opened the driver's side door. I removed the firearm from his hip with no issue. I then had Mr. Harris step out of the vehicle, and I detained him by placing handcuffs on him. I escorted Mr. Harris to my patrol vehicle, conducted a pat down, and placed him into the rear of my vehicle." That's word for word, and it paints the picture clear as day. King wasn't alone either. He had 2 guys riding with him. But out of everybody in that car, only he ended up in cuffs. What makes it even wilder is that at the very moment of this arrest, King was expecting a baby with his longtime girlfriend, Janai J.
I guess I'm in DeKalb County for the night, and they moving me to, they moving me all the way to Jasper in the morning.
Talk about timing blowing up in the worst way. And now, almost a year later, the body cam footage finally leaked. It shows King trying to hold it together, but you can see the truth. He was frustrated, he was heated, and no amount of slick talking could get him out of this one. He knew it, and the camera caught it all. The wildest part? While I was breaking his back trying to keep King out of trouble, King was busy fighting him. You can't make this up. Remember that viral moment when King got into a full-blown altercation with his own father at an Atlanta Falcons game? And the whole thing wasn't just witnessed by fans in the stadium. It was streamed live on IG for the world to see. At the start of that video, T.I. can be heard checking his son, asking, "King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?"
A lot of people hit me up like, "King, I know you tired. You ain't get no sleep." And the truth be told, before this little I ain't been getting no sleep, you know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle, lifestyle just lifing, you know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house.
That jab clearly hit a nerve because things spiraled fast. Then Tiny snatched the phone and dropped another bombshell. When King was 12, he was still sucking on a pacifier. And when they tried to take it away, he'd cry like a baby. Imagine the embarrassment of your parents blasting you with childhood secrets on a live stream while you're trying to act hard in front of everybody. The whole clip painted King as a spoiled kid desperate to prove he's tough. And for T.I. and Tiny, it was humiliating too, because it made them look like they completely failed to reel their son in. Instead of stepping into fatherhood with some maturity, King is staring down 5 years behind bars. And that fake tough guy act looks even worse now. Some people thought fatherhood might ground him, maybe even save him. But this proved otherwise. King's too deep in the streets, too hooked on chaos to slow down for a baby. At this point, it's crystal clear that even his parents don't know how to handle him. He's literally squaring up with them in public, pulling up on strangers, and nearly running over a cop. The fall from grace couldn't be louder. After that Falcons fiasco, the internet was on fire. Fans flooded social media clowning King for trying to act gangster while his parents were out here exposing his baby pacifier phase. Memes popped up overnight with people saying he's street tough on Instagram but soft as silk at home. The comments were brutal and King couldn't escape them. Instead of laying low, King doubled down. He started going live more, ranting about how he wasn't raised soft and that nobody, not even his parents, could check him. But the irony was painful to watch, because the more he tried to convince the world he was real, the more people saw straight through the act. Clips of him flexing stacks of cash, flashing jewelry, and mouthing off went viral, but fans weren't impressed. They called it desperate, pointing out that none of it could cover up the fact that he was spiraling out of control. And while King was busy proving himself to strangers online, T.I. and Tiny were left looking powerless. Every time they tried to step in, King flipped the script and made them look like the problem. It was chaos at home, chaos online, and chaos in public. The saddest part, some fans actually said they saw this crash coming years ago. They claimed King was handed everything on a silver platter but never learned discipline. And now, the same fame that gave him a platform was destroying him in front of everyone's eyes. By the time that arrest footage surfaced, people weren't shocked anymore. They were just waiting to see how far King would fall before hitting rock bottom. At this point, King looks completely out of control, and now it's too late to save him. 5 years behind bars isn't some slap on the wrist. That's half a decade of his life gone. And the craziest part? T.I. himself already saw it coming. Back in 2022, he admitted he knew King was destined for prison if he didn't drop the fake gangster routine, and he even said he'd already made peace with it. That doesn't sound like a confident father. That sounds like a dad who threw in the towel. But as wild as that is, it's not even the worst twist. Sources close to the family say T.I. and Tiny recently had a heated blow-up with King after deciding to cut him off completely. They allegedly told him they're done covering his legal bills, but they'll still step up to help his baby mama and take care of their grandchild. Translation, they'll support the innocent baby, but King's going to have to sit in that cell and figure out life on his own. Of course, King wasn't about to take that quietly. Word is he's now plotting to sue his parents for a shocking 50% of their estate. That's right, he's trying to drag them into court and cash out on the family fortune. But here's the reality. Legally, he doesn't stand a chance. Everyone knows he isn't entitled to a dime. What it does show, though, is just how desperate he's become, reaching for anything to force T.I. to step in and rescue him. But at this point, the train has already left the station, and King's the one left behind. What's even messier is how the streets are reacting to all of this. Fans aren't just talking about King's prison sentence. They're dragging the whole Harris family name into the mud. The same family that once bragged about being hip-hop royalty is now looking like a dynasty falling apart in front of everybody's eyes. People are saying T.I. built his empire only to watch his own son tear it all down, piece by piece. And the family drama keeps spilling. Insiders claim T.I. and Tiny aren't even on the same page about how to handle King anymore. Tiny's still got that motherly instinct. She wants to keep helping him, no matter how reckless he gets. But T.I., he's over it. Word is, he's telling friends he can't keep wasting money and energy on someone who refuses to listen. That divide is creating serious tension behind the scenes, with people close to them saying it's one of the biggest cracks in their marriage yet. Meanwhile, King's out here trying to spin his downfall into a storyline, talking tough from behind bars like he's untouchable. But fans aren't buying it. They've seen the body cam, they've seen the meltdown at the Falcons game, and they've seen him begging for his parents' money. Nobody's convinced he's the gangster he claims to be. Instead, they're calling him a spoiled kid who finally hit the wall. And now the question everybody's asking is simple. Will this 5-year stretch break King down enough to humble him, or will he come out even more reckless, ready to drag the family name deeper into chaos? The Harris legacy is hanging by a thread, and the world is watching every move. If T.I. couldn't save King, insiders say he's now shifting all his focus toward making sure his grandson doesn't grow up the same way. He's determined to break the cycle. But the internet is ruthless, and the comments about King are harsher than ever. One person went viral saying, "Kid looks like a big mouth bass and need to grow up. Parenting is obviously not working. Some kids just can't be saved." Another fan chimed in, "After that last video of him being a punk to employees, I already knew this kid was heading straight down a dark path. He was given everything he could have ever wanted, but it was never enough." And the judgment didn't stop there. People are blasting King for wasting opportunities, pointing out that plenty of kids would kill for the kind of life he had, but he threw it all away. Some are even saying straight up, this isn't T.I.'s fault anymore, it's King's. The sympathy's gone, the patience is gone, and the internet is making it crystal clear they see him as nothing more than a spoiled kid who finally hit reality head on. So now, the big question is yours. What do you think about King getting slapped with 5 years? Was T.I. right to finally cut him off, or should he have stood by him no matter what? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this conversation rolling. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Public Secrets for more messy stories just like this one.